right, thank you all for being here for this very exciting new series, and I hope you can join me next week, and the class will be a little bit different than what we'll be doing today. So I'll just do a very brief presentation just to kind of give you guys an idea of what Yoga for Migraine is and how you can stay in touch with me. My website is yogamigraine.com, and probably the best way to connect with me if you're on social is by joining my Facebook group. It's a free private group, Yoga Migraine, and I post weekly free videos in there and have lots of discussion and tips for self-care. But you can also find me all over Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Just look up Yoga Migraine. Let's move on. So you already heard a lot about me, so I won't go too much more into it, but we will go into how yoga is helpful for migraine, and then do our chair Yoga for Migraine class, and then if anyone wants to stay after for questions, we'll do that. So my little ones are almost 3 and 8, and like most of you, I also have been living with migraine for 13 years. And I'm a certified yoga teacher, former public school teacher of almost 10 years, and I also teach and perform dance. So many of you might have seen recently, just coming out May 6th in Neurology, there was an article of some great new research showing how effective yoga practices can be for keeping our migraine symptoms at bay. So in this study, participants practiced regularly for a month, and they had a 48% reduction of headaches. And not only that, for those who continued after 3 months, the number of pills that they needed to take reduced by about half as well. So this is comparable to any pharmaceutical preventive medication. So this is very encouraging, and hopefully we'll see more research in this department. So from my experience and from research, yoga helps with migraine symptoms primarily because it activates that relaxation response. Many of us with migraine have quite a hyperactive, sensitive nervous system. And so by regularly bringing that nervous system down and calming, we can be less triggered by internal and external stimuli. Another thing that I think yoga has a very good advantage is that we can also treat our symptoms of neck and upper back tension through yoga, and that's something that not a lot of other treatments can do for people living with migraine. At its heart, yoga really is a practice of self-inquiry, of observing yourself, becoming aware of your breath and your thoughts. And so through this, you can also become less reactive to internal and external triggers, and become more open and accepting to the emotional ups and downs that come with living with a chronic illness. And finally, it's an oasis that just feels good and can bring us a sense of peace. For those of us living, especially with chronic migraine, we don't get many opportunities to just feel good. So this is a place where you can begin to feel better and enjoy a little rest and reprieve. So I want to let you know of just some upcoming events where you could practice more yoga for migraine with me. Next Tuesday, same time, will be the next class in the series. So come join me again next Tuesday. And then also a Saturday class through Miles for Migraine. It's on the LA Education Day. It's LA, but everything's online now. And that'll be a class where you also have lots of other presenters. So hopefully if you haven't been to one of those events from Miles for Migraine, you can check it out. Both are completely free. And then I have a 8-week program, which is a paid program. The next session we start is in September, and that's our Yoga for Migraine live online session. It's an 8-week program like this. It'll be live, but what is really nice is that you also get the replays right away. So if you miss a class, or you're in a different time zone that doesn't work, you can still join us. And that's Thursdays, 9:30 Pacific, 12:30 Eastern. And I wanted to give all of you guys who are participating a special discount if that's something that you would like to continue with into September. There will be an email going out about it as well, so you don't have to write it down, but you guys will get a coupon code for a $20 discount on that next session starting September 10th. And it's really wonderful. We have literally people from all over the world joining us together, and we have a great community of people supporting each other, and we can practice yoga and really develop our skills to bring our body some relief. So for our practice today, above all, listen to your body, be gentle. My biggest advice, especially for people who are new to yoga, living with migraine, is to give this like your 50% effort, 50 or 75% effort. Don't go as far as you possibly can. Everything we do is quite gentle anyway, but you can just really, give yourself some space, change things if they don't work for you. So we will begin our class on a chair. So I'm going to just move on to my next chair and scooch this one. So give me 1 minute to set up. And move our mic. Okay. So come to your firm chair, sitting on the edge of the chair so that your feet are flat on the floor. Start breathing as I change my view so I can see you guys. And bringing one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly, closing your eyes if that feels good, or just looking at a still point. And just feeling the breath move all by itself without any effort. Feeling that belly expand on inhale and contract on exhale. Feeling the rise of the chest on inhale and the fall of the chest on exhale. Deep, slow, gentle breaths. And scanning your body for any places of discomfort or pain that you're experiencing. It might be one place, it might be many places. And just pick one that has your attention and just observing that discomfort. How large of an area does it cover? Does it feel more sharp or dull? Pulsing? And just observing that discomfort with peacefulness. And now moving our attention to a place in the body that feels comfortable and relaxed. And sometimes it's hard to find a place that feels good. So find one. You might not have that much feeling at all, and observe what makes that area feel comfortable and relaxed. What sensations do you observe there? And now leaving that area, moving our attention just to our energy level today. Do you feel slow and exhausted? Do you feel excited and a little bit buzzy? Or somewhere in between? And finally, let's observe our emotions. Are there one or two emotions that you can identify that you're feeling today, this moment? Perhaps you have a sense of gratitude. Perhaps you have a sense of annoyance, or anger, sadness. Whatever it is, observe it, welcome that experience without judgment. And when you're ready, if your eyes are closed, fluttering them open and letting your hands rest on the thighs. Let's move into a cat and cow pose that you can do in your chair. And all these practices today are great for when you're at work or sitting, and can be practiced throughout your day to help break up any tension. So as we inhale here, we're going to lift the chest. You can even look up slightly if that feels okay. And as you exhale, draw your belly in, round the spine, look down. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. Heart open, shoulders back. Exhale, round. Curl the tailbone under. One more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. And then inhale, come back to center. And let's bring our fingertips to the shoulders and elbows about shoulder height. We're going to work into some nice easy twists here. Taking a breath in. As you exhale, twist to the left. Doesn't have to go as far as you possibly can. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Last one. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Good, and just shake those arms out a little bit. We'll bring them back to our shoulders, fingertips back to the shoulders for some nice shoulder rolls. So as we inhale, we'll draw the elbows together, lift up the elbows. Exhale, roll the shoulder blades down. Draw those elbows and shoulders down. Inhale, elbows together. Exhale, roll it down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift. And exhale on the way down. Good, let's reverse that. So we're going to roll the shoulders back, up to the sky on inhale, and then exhale towards the center. Inhale to the back. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Last one. Inhale up. And exhale down. Excellent. Just let those arms relax. And now interlace your fingers, push away, straight arms, and then lift those arms up. Let's actually lift the shoulders and then draw the shoulders back. So your neck has lots of room here. Inhale, exhale, fold over to your left, reaching with the top arm. Inhale, center. Just swing side to side like a palm tree. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Feeling that side body stretch. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Last one. Exhale to the right. Now hold it here, and now draw the left shoulder down. So now both shoulders are level, you're looking down, and you can find a nice new stretch in the shoulders here. Good, and now stack the shoulders once again, so you're looking forward. Let's do that on the other side. So back to the left, and then draw the right shoulder level with the left, looking down, finding a good deep stretch. Good, and now stack the shoulders again. Inhale, center, and exhale, let it go. Let's work into our neck stretches, which are a favorite of many people living with migraine. So the first we're going to do is just some gentle neck rolls. So lower down the chin towards the chest. And just that, we'll find a nice stretch. Inhale now, draw the chin towards the left shoulder. Lift that chin on the way back, not all the way. And then exhale, chin over to the right shoulder, and then back to center. Let's do a few more like that. Inhale, the left, up, and exhale on the way down. Inhale to the side, up, exhale, and then just relax your head down, chin to chest. And we'll go the other direction. Always feel free to slow it down if you feel dizzy at all. So inhale to your right, lift on the way up, exhale to the left and roll it down. Inhale right, lift, and exhale left and down. Last one, inhale, and exhale back to center. Take one hand to the forehead, and without using the neck, just push your head back to center without any effort. And now we'll go into a side stretch for the neck. So you'll hold the side of your chair, so you've got a nice grip, and then just lean your body the opposite direction. So just in that, you'll probably find a nice stretch. And if you want to add a little more, you'll take your free hand and touch your ear. There it is. So not pulling at all, just adding a little weight. Deep breaths into whatever you're feeling here. And now draw the chin forward an inch or two, and you'll find a new place to stretch out. Deep breaths, let it go. Good, now relax the grip on the chair, bring both hands to thighs, chin to chest, and pause. One hand to the forehead, push your head back. And we'll switch sides. Hold the bottom of the chair and just lean in the opposite direction. Finding your first edge, your first bit of sensation. If you'd like to go deeper, bring your free hand to the top ear. And observing any difference in each side. Each side of our body is so different. It's very normal to have a different experience on each side. Chin forward another inch or two, discovering a new stretch in here. Good. Lower both hands to the thighs, chin all the way to the chest, sitting up tall. One hand to forehead, push your head on back. Good, and let's add one more stretch in for the neck. This is one of my favorites. It's like you're making an infinity sign with your nose on the screen in front of you. So it's just a very gentle lift and over, lift and over. You can also think of your ears kind of circling back. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but it does kind of help move everything around. Okay, let's pause there. If you can figure it out, go the opposite direction. So for me, it's kind of like coming inward. Really small little infinity sign with your nose. Good, and just relax it there. Now let's do a couple chest openers. So here we're going to scooch all the way to the edge of our chair if you're not there already. And two options, you can hold the side of your chair, or if you have a little more flexibility, you'll hold the top of the chair. So wherever you're at, you're going to lift the chest, open the heart, try to bring your arms straight, and enjoy that stretch in the pecs here. Deep breaths into whatever you're feeling. Let's take 2 more breaths. Opening the heart, reaching that chest forward. Good, and then slowly undo that hold of the chair, just roll it out. Now this way, we're going to go another direction. This time we'll sit all the way back, so you're pretty much up against the back of the chair. And this is what I call the laying on the beach in Hawaii pose. So you'll interlace your hands behind your head and just start leaning back a little bit. Make sure your chair's steady enough, you're not going to fall back, but it's like you just kick your feet up on your desk and you can really feel nice opening in the upper back and chest. Deep breaths. Imagine the ocean in front of you. Good, and let's come back to center. So we're going to actually now take the rest of our practice on the mat. We'll just turn the chair so that you are facing it, and it'll be at the foot of your mat. So you'll leave room for the rest of your body. But when you have everything set up, you'll just sit in an easy cross-legged position in front of your chair, and just maybe about 4 to 6 inches away from the chair. Once you're there, you get to climb your forearms on the chair and just rest your head on your arms. And here you'll feel a nice stretch in the spine from the tailbone up to the neck. Closing the eyes if you'd like. And softening all the muscles in the face. Relax the forehead. Let the eyes and eyebrows soften. Cheeks relax. Allow the jaw to just slacken here. Teeth part. The whole face just drooping down towards the earth. This is one of my favorite poses to do when I feel a migraine coming on or things just feel a little overwhelming. It's very calming. And you can do this just about anywhere. You have a chair or even in your bed or couch. Observe where your breath is. Where are you feeling it? Maybe it's in your upper back now. Maybe you feel it coming in and out of the nostrils. Letting everything soften and melt. Taking 2 more breaths in this soothing forward fold. And when you're ready, you'll uncross your arms, press your hands against the chair, gently pushing yourself up and letting your head be the last thing to come up. You can even help support your head by pushing your head up with your hand. Always taking lots of time when we move our head and neck. And just enjoying that pose and its after effects. For our final pose, we'll end with a relaxing guided meditation with our legs on the chair. So I'll show you how to get into it, and then you guys can join me. And if it doesn't sound good, you can just lie flat on the floor. So I'm going to come next to my chair, leaning back, bending the legs in one big swoop. Bring the legs up on the top of the chair, and you can bring your feet through if you have room. Wherever you're at, you'll lie on down for a variation of legs up the chair or legs up the wall is another way you can do it. So I'll just kind of wait for everyone to make it. It's sometimes hard to get into it, but once you're there, it's quite calming. And this is a great pose that you can do when you feel tired, and even right before bed to help you transition. If you do have any other props like an eye pillow or even a little hand towel, this is a nice thing to bring over the eyes to help settle it down even more. And feel free to just adjust yourself any amount. Sometimes just lifting the pelvis and bringing it back down helps relieve any low back tension. Palms open and arms wide, whatever feels comfortable. Letting that upper body feel held by the earth below, while the legs and feet are supported and lifted. Observing your breath again here. Watching how the breath breathes itself without any effort. Belly lifting on inhale, relaxing down on exhale. And noticing the areas of discomfort and comfort that you noticed at the very beginning of our practice. Check in. Have those areas shifted at all? They feel the same. Welcome that experience. And now as we breathe, we will visualize golden healing light starting with the soles of our feet. As we inhale, that healing light travels all the way up through the body to the crown of the head. And as we exhale, it floods our whole body back down towards tips of the toes. Inhale, golden healing light up towards the crown of the head. And exhale, back down towards the heels. Inhale that generous, soothing light up to the crown of the head from the heels. And back down towards the knees. Inhale, knees up to the crown of the head. Exhale, that radiant light down to the tip of the tailbone. Inhale, tip of the tailbone to the crown of the head. Exhale, crown of the head to the belly button. Golden light streaming up from the belly button to the crown. Exhale, down to the center, right below the ribs. Inhale, below the ribs to the crown. Exhale, shining light to your heart center. Heart center energy shooting up to the crown of the head. Exhale it back down to your throat center. Throat center up to the crown. And exhale to the center between the brow. Shining golden light up to the crown of the head. And now shining all the way back down to the tips of the toes and the soles of the feet. Feeling your body radiating with protective, golden, healing light. Now observing the heaviness of your hips and torso here on earth. Imagine your whole torso sinking down, though it was just melting down into the earth. Heaviness throughout the whole torso, sinking down. And now observing lightness in your body, in your feet and hands. Lightness as though your extremities could just float away into the clear blue sky. Light as a feather in a cloud. And now observe the heaviness of your torso and the lightness of your hands and feet together at the same time. Observing both sensations, heaviness and lightness at the same time. And now relaxing your focus, enjoying your body in a restful, peaceful state. Become aware of the room that you're in, listen for any sounds, near and far. Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. And transitioning now to our sides. Bringing the feet in and just rolling to one side into a fetal position. And just relax here, no rush. Enjoying these moments of ease and comfort. And now bringing your hands to the floor, we'll slowly push our way into a seated position. You can come back to your chair if that feels more comfortable, or just to your mat. And head is last to come up. Sitting up tall. Just being with yourself. Enjoying that breath. Perhaps some release of tension. And a greater connection to yourself. Let's bring our hands to our heart. And thank you all so much for being a part of this series and class today. And I truly hope that you feel some openness in your body and mind that can carry you throughout your day. Namaste. Thank you, everybody. And I will come on back for any questions, and you're welcome to stay, or if you want to head out and just enjoy that easy, peaceful feeling, I understand. So let me bring myself back to the computer.
Adriane, thank you. That was an amazingly restorative session.
Oh, thank you. Glad so many of you could be here.
I hope all of you feel the same. That you feel so peaceful in your body. I want to thank Adriane, who has so generously offered to stay on. If you have some individual questions that you would like to ask, please just type them in the chat box. She will stay on and answer a couple of questions. I would also like to thank our sponsor, Amgen and Novartis, for making this possible. Okay, so we have a question about the bolster question. We'll get to that. For those of you hopping off, we certainly understand. We are past our 45-minute session, but if you want to stay on and have questions, we're happy to answer them. I would ask you to consider taking a look at our website for future run, walk, relax events, education days, support groups, and certainly please refer to our mindfulness event page for the schedule for the rest of the series, and know that you do not need to re-register. Every day you'll be sent a Zoom link. It'll be the same Zoom link for you to hop on and join. So let us know. And as we said, all the resources that Adriane mentioned, I'll be sending to you separately in an email so that you have access to both when she's teaching with Miles for Migraine, as well as her fall series.
Thank you all for all these wonderful comments. I'm glad people feel a little rejuvenated and relaxed. Should I answer the question about the bolster?
Yes.
Yeah,
sure.
okay. So yeah, the picture in my bio, I'm not sure actually where she might have seen that, but yes, it's a reclined cobbler's pose. And I probably do have have that in my Facebook group, but very quickly I could show you guys as well. But these are my props, and in my weekly session we do use these a lot more, and with this, since not everyone has all the right props, we just use our chair. But for the recline cobbler's pose, you set up your 2 blocks, like a little ramp, and take your yoga bolster at an angle. You can use one blanket as a pillow. You can even use a strap. You can use every possible yoga prop. I'll grab one more. This is one of my favorites too, an eye pillow. I use this all the time, and I think for people with migraine, it's particularly soothing. So yeah, you scoot up against your bolster, drawing the feet together, walk on back.
Did you do any telephonic research about
eye pillow? And this is one of the most favorite sort of poses out there.
research about?
Great pose for everybody. So I hope that was a better one. If there's anything else. All right. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, if anyone has any other questions, yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Okay, so I think we got the right one. Thank you, Ellen. Yeah, that's one of the ultimate restorative poses. So yeah, I'm looking forward. I hope many of you can come next week, and we won't do a full chair pose. We might actually do a few more poses with the wall as our prop. So you'll find for the wall next week.
If you guys are interested, we can get some links for those props and include them in our follow-up email.
Yeah, we can do that. Well, it looks like there's not any more questions. Feel free to ask anything, or if not, yeah, okay, great.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
So
I'll share that with you.
we'll work together to get those links and include them in the follow-up email.
Yeah. And for all the Miles for Migraine classes I'm offering, no props are required. So I wanted to make that, very accessible. So you don't have to feel like you have to buy anything. So yeah, chair and a wall is all we'll need for Miles for Migraine. But for my online weekly classes, we do use a lot more props.
Okay, great. Any other questions? Just type them in the chat. If not, we understand. We already had our 45 minutes. We all feel good to finish our evening.
Yeah, I'm excited to see all the other classes as well. There's so much mindfulness meditation, Tai Chi, art, so it's a great series.
Have a good evening.
Yes. Thank you, Miles for Migraine. And maybe looks like most people are heading out, but find me on social. Come join my Yoga for Migraine Facebook group, and we'll get to see more of you. Yeah. Can wrap things up if that seems like most people are good.
Great. Thank you again.
Thank you so much from
All right.
Miles for Migraine for making this
We'll
happen.
talk soon.
Okay. Bye-bye. Thank you, Ellen. You're still here.